Hey soapy folks, this is Kevin with Divinely Design, and we have a soap video today. So today I'm going to use a new fragrance oil that I got from Brambleberry called Sea Moss. And it's hard to describe this fragrance. It's sort of a green kind of fragrance. It's really hard to describe. It smells really nice. I would say, for me, I don't love it. But I think plenty of people would. I like it, but it's not one of those fragrances where I'm like, oh my god, this is the best fragrance ever. I really liked it. It was very nice, a little bit green, kind of a unisex scent. So I have that mixed, and I actually mixed it with some tea tree oil. So it's a more earthy scent now, but still has sort of that, I don't know, oceany kind of background to it. Anyway, so it's about half and half mixture of sea moss from Brambleberry and tea tree oil from Wholesale Supplies Plus. For additives in here, I'm going to be adding some kaolin clay, and I have about probably 2 teaspoons of that. I'm actually going to just chuck that in my oils right now. Kaolin clay. And I have some, this is actually heavy cream that I've mixed with some kelp powder that I had mixed in some oil, and I just sort of combined them all together. It kind of like curdled almost. It's just chunky, but because of the green color, and I want a portion of this white, I'm going to pour off a portion that's going to be white first, and then I'll add this a little bit later on. For colors, I have some Vibrance Micas. So I have blue and green Vibrance Micas, and I'll probably be adding a little white to some of this to make it nice and light blue. So I'll have a light blue, a green, and then a dark green. And this green I'm getting through use of, this is a mixture of kelp powder, green clay, and spirulina, with a little bit of green Vibrance Mica all mixed together. Okay, so I'm kind of using that kind of as an additive as well as a colorant. So we'll be adding the spirulina to that. I have some titanium dioxide from Brambleberry for the white portion. And also today, I have some sodium lactate. I don't normally use sodium lactate. It's supposed to harden your bar, so I'm going to just try it. So I got a little bit of it. So this is 142 grams of sodium lactate, which I'm also going to just add to my oils right now. Now, the sea moss fragrance oil I have read does accelerate, so I'm going to try and be careful with that. But let's go over the recipe otherwise. I have a total of 50 ounces of oils, but let me give you the breakdown. It's 33.3% olive oil pomace, 21% coconut oil 76 degree, 16.6% cocoa butter, 16.6% shea butter, and 12.5% castor oil. For my lye and water, I have a mixture of, hold on, let me get my other piece of paper. It is, 517, nope. The total mixture is 730 grams of my lye water mixture, and I am using a 26.36% lye mixture. Okay? Alright, so that's the recipe. And let me mix up this clay and the sodium lactate first. Okay, that was just to get the clay kind of mixed up. Next I'm going to add my Lye water. Oh, temperatures. My oils are around 85 degrees. My lye water is right around 65 degrees. All right. Okay, I think that's good. I'm not gonna work this too much because the fragrance oil does accelerate, and actually this is pretty thick already. That's kind of, well, it could be the sodium lactate. I've never used that before, but that's kind of thick. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, I'm gonna pour off a little bit for the white, just so I can keep that nice and white. All right, let me add some white to it. Okay. Then I'm going to add the cream and the kelp powder, and we'll give that a little mixture. That's pretty gross looking, but it should blend in just fine. Okay. See how that darkened it up a little bit? And that's why I just poured off some of that white, just to keep it nice and white. Okay, so I'm going to do blue, light blue, green, and dark green. So I'll try and keep some in there. Oh, I'll use a thing that's just so I can sort of even them out. Okay, so I do have some stuff in here that's going to accelerate, like the milk. So we'll see how this goes. Alright, I'm going to add my green. I'm going to save a little because I'm going to try and do, I think, some oil, some mica in oil on top. This one we're going to do blue. This one I'm going to do a little blue, but add some white. And then this one is the spirulina, kelp powder, and French green clay. Okay. Alright, and let's add the fragrance. And then we will blend everything. So I'm just going to try and eyeball it. Alright, and let's get blending. I'm going to start with the white. Okay, so this is thickening up. I was going to do a drop swirl, but I don't think that's going to happen. Okay. We'll go to the darker blue, hopefully. And why I was doing this is sort of an ocean theme, if you haven't picked up on that, right? The fragrance is sea moss. I'm adding kelp powder. Okay, and then finally, the dark green. Okay. All right, I think I am going to switch this to an in the pot swirl, just because these are pretty thick. And I haven't done an in the pot swirl in a long time, so let me get my pot back. Okay, I want to save some of the white to go on top, and this is really thick, so I'm going to add this white first. Okay. Some light blue, dark green, medium green, the dark blue, let's see, back to the green, back to the light blue, yeah, we're reaching clumping stage, so this did accelerate pretty fast. All right, I'm just gonna, let me get the rest of this blue. This is probably get some of that in there. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna scrape the rest out here. And if I can drop it, I will. So this fragrance oil definitely accelerated. It smells pretty nice right now. I think that's a nice combination of that sea moss and the tea tree oil. That's working out to be pretty nice. Okay. All right, and last, dark green. Okay. I'm going to give this just a little bit of a stir. Not much. I think that's it. Okay. All right, in the pot we go. Or in the mold, I should say. And some of my white didn't really get mixed from the bottom, but that's okay. I'm going to put some white on top here, I think. Okay, doesn't need to be real exact. These are going to be pretty big bars, since I used a little bit more oil than I normally do. And I think I'm going to go for kind of a textured top here, so I don't have to be real precise with this, getting all even or anything. In fact, I might, if some of the green from below shows up through here, not a big deal. So this is okay. I'm going to use a spoon to texture this in a second, but so again, I don't need to be super precise here. Okay, let me grab some pipettes. Okay. I have some, this is just some of the blue Vibrance mica, and I'm just going to drip it on here in no particular pattern, just trying to get a little bit everywhere. Okay. And I'm going to do the same with the green. Okay, and then a spoon. All right, so then I'm just going to sort of push down, twist, pull up, kind of going for, waves of the ocean. I'm trying to get some peaks here. Again, sort of like, you know, a rough ocean, lots of foam. Okay, I think that is good. I'm going to add a little bit of glitter. Just going to clean up the little edge here. Okay, that's good. And I just have some white, I can't remember where this is from, some white. It actually doesn't even really impart a color, it's really more shimmer than anything else. There's no real color, although it appears as a white powder, but when you sprinkle it on here, it's not like it's going to cover up the blue or the green or anything. It just really adds sparkle to it. Okay, I think that's good. All right, so I think I might call this Poseidon, right? It's sea moss and the kelp powder and spirulina, and so anyway, there it is. A nice glittery top. Okay, after the break should be the unmolding and the cutting, so stick around. Thanks. Hey there, soapy friends. Okay, so we've got Poseidon ready to come out. It went in the fridge after I finished making it last night and sat in the fridge overnight, and then this morning I took it out and let it come to room temperature. It's been about, oh, let's see, maybe 19 or 20 hours total since I made it. So it hasn't actually been out of the fridge a super long time. It feels a little cool. I probably could let it sit out a little bit more. But I am impatient, so I clearly did not clean off my cutter from my last batch, which was the chocolate and vanilla soap, sort of like Oreo cookies. Okay, so clean it up a little bit better there. All right, so this one had sodium lactate, which I've never used. So we'll see how that sort of affects the cutting. And I think we're all set to go. So Well, it's a little bit harder to cut. But I don't know if that's because of the sodium lactate or it's still a little bit cool. It's been out of the fridge for maybe 4 hours, so. Okay. Let me clean up some of this mess here. And take a look at some of the swirls, hopefully. Ugh, that cut really terribly. So there's some of that light blue and dark green, light green. It's okay, yeah, it's not bad. I'm really annoyed though because it sort of sheared off. Well, I mean, I'll be able to clean those up, I'm sure. And I think some of these colors will probably continue to develop now, you know, once they're sort of out in the air. I'm really annoyed with how this cut though. If you can see that. The swirls are kind of pretty. It's a little bit more on the green side than the blue side. I may have to clean these up a little bit before I take some pictures of them though, because they are looking kind of rough. And again, I don't know if that was the sodium lactate. I haven't really had this. Now that one's okay. Just when I've cut them and they're a little cold. There's the top. The top came out really pretty. The fragrance, well, I am not a huge fan of tea tree in general, and the sea moss fragrance that I used I liked, but I didn't love. So I don't know that personally I'm a huge fan of this scent combination. That came out not bad. It's not, I mean, it's certainly not terrible, and I bet you there will be people who will love it and find it really good. Just for me, I don't think it's one of my personal favorites. Okay. All right, there we go. So some not bad swirls. They just need to be cleaned up a little bit. Once they sort of dry out for another 24 hours, I'll take them through the planer and probably take some pictures at that point, because right now they're looking, the flat surfaces are just looking a little bit rough, and I bet they will pretty up nicely once I've planed them a little bit. So, okay, that's it. Tell me your experiences with sodium lactate. This is my first time. It definitely feels harder, but I think some of that is because it's a little bit cool. It's been out of the fridge for about 4 hours, so I probably could have let it sit out for another 4 just to get to room temperature. But it's not super cold. I mean, it's not like it's frozen or anything like that. So anyway, all right, tell me your experience with sodium lactate. Do you get that problems cutting with it, or is cutting easier? And if you like the video, hit that like button. Or if you like my videos in general, be sure to subscribe. And check back here with Divinely Designed for more bath and beauty and soap videos. All right, thanks for watching.